Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another video. And today I have very good news for you, especially those of you out there in the killer main community. The main thing that we were worried about when it came to the mid-chapter PTB before it goes live here in a couple weeks was that endurance was stacking. So for example, if you had Dead Hard and Off the Record and Metal Men active, that meant you literally could tank 3 hits in a row from the killer. So you dead hard them, you get hit, endurance. They catch up, they hit you, endurance. They hit you again for that third Metal Man, that also gives you endurance. So essentially, you end up in these situations, like I had a scenario when I was testing the PTB that I had to hit somebody 4 times to down them. I had to hit somebody 4 times to down them because they had applied 3 stacks of endurance to themselves from 3 different perk effects. And this will also stack with like styptics and that sort of thing. So yeah, so essentially there's a lot of ways to get endurance. So but the problem was that they were stacking, that you were getting those multiple hits. However, the good news is that Pianitz, which is a name that if I say it too fast I feel like it will get me age restricted, because well, you know what that sounds like. Anyways, Pianitz said, who is a community dev manager on the DBD forums, they said that the endurance effect stacking was in fact a bug. And that's something that I had assumed when I had played the mid-chapter PTB and I did my video review. I said that it felt like it was just happening because of DBD's spaghetti code, and it didn't seem like it was something that was intended to have happened. And it seems that I was right in that regard, that it was in fact a bug. It was declared a bug. And what should be happening instead is that whatever endurance duration is the highest, it should be maxing out to that effect duration and not giving multiple hits. And what do I mean by that? Because that's kind of confusing. Let me explain to you. So if you have Off the Record and somebody says you off the hook with Borrowed Time, you are now under the effects of 2 endurance effects. You're getting Off the Record that you brought, which is 120 seconds of duration for your endurance unless you do a conspicuous action, and you are now also under the effect of Borrowed Time, which gives you 15 seconds of endurance off the hook. What should be happening there is that your endurance will not last the 15 seconds, but it will instead last the minute and 20, because that's the longest duration possible among the perks that have been applied to you right now. It will always apply the highest level, or the highest duration rather, the highest duration of endurance to you, and that is what you have. So that's what's supposed to be happening, is that you're just getting the longest duration of whatever endurance was applied to you. You're not getting extra endurance. You are just, buffing the duration of your endurance if you're under 2 and one happens to be longer duration than the other. That's what's supposed to be happening. But instead, what was happening in the PTB was that each endurance was kind of functioning individually. Each one was doing its own thing. Each one was acting as a separate instance of endurance, and every time you would hit, it would just roll over to the next one. And that's not what was supposed to happen, like at all. And obviously, I think that I mentioned this in the mid-chapter review video as well, is that a lot of people, for some reason in the DBD community, did not think that this would be an issue. A lot of people thought that this was a totally okay and fine thing to have in the game, and it was okay and nobody would ever abuse it, because it takes a lot of setup and it takes a lot to get 3 or 4 instances of endurance. And to that I say, this is a community that thrives off of abusing and manipulating things. When Boilover came out, the broken version of Boilover, where you could wiggle off for free, essentially, if you just went anywhere slightly out of the way of a hook, there were Sabo squads running that perk, bringing you to RPD, bringing you to Eerie of Crows, bringing you to all these places, and basically making it impossible to hook you. People will abuse strong things in this game. They just will. Because to try and insinuate that in any way that just because it's slightly difficult to pull off means that people will be dissuaded from using it, it's just not true. It's just not factual. We've seen time and time again when something comes out and it's absolutely broken, players just dive on that. People like exploiting in this game. People love abusing broken stuff in this game. So if you had left it in its current way, you bet your bottom dollar there was going to be people constantly, 4-man swifts constantly, bringing that 3 to 4 endurance stack. Like, they would be doing it, and it would be miserable, and it would be bad for the health of the game. So by and large, which is apparently a phrase I say a lot, apparently I say by and large a lot, and I never realized that until I was an internet personality and somebody pointed it out, and I'm like, wait, Oh my god, I do say that a lot. Anyways, for the most part, I'll say instead, for the most part, this is a good change to the game. This is really, really great because basically, like, what issue do you have with the game? The mid-chapter patch is coming out if you're killer right now. What issue do you have with the mid-chapter patch if you're killer? The stacking endurance was kind of like the main thing that was worrisome, and other than that, if you play killer, this mid-chapter patch is just an A. It's just A+ for you. You should be, I'm telling you right now, if you're a killer main, you should be now entirely and completely excited for the upcoming mid-chapter change, because quite literally for your side of the game, there are no issues anymore. There's some minor ones, but I would say, like, in terms of like an actual issue that's actually a problem that needs to be addressed before live, all those are dealt with. All those are dealt with, so you are fine. However, there's a lot that still needs to be fixed or reverted, I think. I think overcharge is still too much. I think the DS change was a little harsh. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed for the Survivor side of things to make Survivor still fun and look forward to be played after the mid-chapter changes. But by and large, God, I do say that a lot, don't I? That wasn't even on purpose. But yeah, killers, you should be happy about this. Killers, you have nothing to worry about anymore coming from the mid-chapter patch. Hopefully they can fix some of the Survivor stuff too. But the problem is the Survivor stuff is mostly just like balanced choices. Like, it's not like a bug or anything. So it's not just them like reverting something or flipping a switch. Like, some of the stuff needs another balance change before, you know, the mid-chapter comes out. So hopefully they can get that done. Hopefully they don't put some of these more aggressively anti-Survivor changes through, because I do think some of them are a little too harsh. Like I said, like the overcharge and the DS nerf and all that. So hopefully they can get that sorted out. But other than that, I think this mid-chapter is going to be great for you if you play killer. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today, guys. I really appreciate you spending time with me. Are you happy that endurance was revealed to be a bug, or did you think it was actually going to be fine? Let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, I will see you in tomorrow's video, friends. And if I don't, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.